Okay, so for this video, thought I'd share just maybe about 5 things you may not be aware that the Microsoft Retail Management Systems store operations software can actually do. And I'll refer to this as RMS because it's a lot easier to say than the long Microsoft Dynamics name. So, and you might be wondering why I'm doing this because we all know this program does have its end of life announced, which will be coming up in July of 2016 for mainstream support and July of 2021 for extended support. But there's still about 60,000 stores and museums, government entities in the US using the Microsoft RMS solution. And a lot of you are going to hang on to this until we can figure out what the replacement software is going to offer. So hopefully you'll find this helpful. If not, well, I'd stop watching at this point. Okay, so I'm going to focus just on the point of sale side of things. As you know, the program has the 3 modules: point of sale module, the manager module, and then the administrator module. So first one, if you are interested in just kind of seeing like a daily snapshot of what's going on in the business, we can, from the point of sale screen, we can hit Shift and then F6 for graphs. And that's just going to kind of show us our daily sales. A lot of folks call this a dashboard. It's just a quick and easy way to see what's going on. You can do some different sorting by the type of data that you want to see. So that's the first one. Second one is touchscreen. You may not be aware of this, but RMS does have a touchscreen interface. Folks that I've worked with that use that, like golf shops or places that are heavy on services or things that are not very easily scanned. So to turn the touchscreen window on, we go to Control and then F6 for screen. And we go to the touchscreen keyboard tab and then show the touchscreen. And there's some settings here for the size of the window and things like that. So this can be positioned and altered different ways, but it's pretty straightforward. So if we want to look up suppliers, or we can go back to the menu, we can pop up the keyboard to start typing. Not fancy by any means, but again, for folks who have items that can't be barcoded, it's a nice, quick, easy thing to have on there. And obviously, if you have an actual touch screen, you'd be using your finger and not the mouse. Third one here is macros. Macros, if you're familiar with like Microsoft Word, it's a way to create a shortcut. So we go to our macros by going to Control F3, and then we can create a macro. What you're doing is you're assigning a key. So here we're assigning, when you hit Alt and then F2, and then you can name it whatever you want, subject to what'll fit. So obviously that would be too long, but let's call it name it. And then basically after here, then you go into a record mode, and then you record the steps. So this is good if there's a sequence of things that you do quite regularly from the point of sale screen, called a shortcut. This is a great way to do that, and it would be a little too complex to go into much more detail without some formal training, but it gives you an idea that you can set up to 12 macros, again, hotkeys or shortcuts for things that are done on a regular basis from the point of sale screen. If we go back to our Control F6, there's some other things that are of interest here that you may not be aware of. This is how you can change whether you have a status bar, On top, size of the buttons, what's displayed for the totals, window positions, net display if you have one of those instead of just a customer pull display. Again, a lot of customizations. That's why RMS kind of looks different depending what environment it's being used in. And then our final tip is that if you aren't aware of it, when we hold down the control key, let me move this out of the way here. So when you come in to the system, we've got these buttons at the bottom here. But if we hold the Shift key, they change. If we hold the Alt key, they change to the macros that were recorded. But then we can also hold down Control Shift, and we get even more options. And we can hold down I thought there was one more here, bear with me. Alt Shift, which actually is going to be the same as, no, there's some different ones there. So, again, this is something you kind of have to play with and take a look at and see what works for you. So that was really it. Obviously, there's a lot more things in the software that we could go through, but that would require a little more in-depth. Obviously, if you have questions on RMS or need some of the training, contact Microsoft or your Microsoft Dynamics RMS partner or myself. If you are looking to switch away from RMS because it is end of life, I do know of a lot of places that are offering some pretty hefty discounts and even some free hardware in some cases. So I'll put my contact information in the video description, and feel free to call or email me to get more information on those discounts. Thanks.